Alright, what's going on, guys? So, I saw this story trending on Twitter the last few days, and it's not often that we get to do a sports related topic, so I gotta take those opportunities when I can. And speaking of that, real quick, yes, KD did respond to my tweet about the Warriors making the finals. I don't think he was very happy with it. Regardless, we're not here to discuss that situation. We are here to talk about the Travis Kelce situation that has been going kind of viral the last couple of days. So if you don't really follow the NFL, I guess Travis Kelce is a pretty famous football player. I would say the best tight end in the NFL. Maybe some people would disagree with that. He's been in the spotlight recently for some non-football related news, which, let me just read this tweet real quick. Travis Kelce's girlfriend broke up with him because he made her pay half the bills and only gave her $100 their entire time together. Truly a legend on and off the field. And as you can see, that tweet got quite a bit of attention. Now, I know that's a wild statement to say, so let me just provide some more details here, okay? So this information is actually coming from one of the girlfriend's friends. So it's not like just some like random person on the internet or anything. It's actually someone who is close to the situation. Kayla's girlfriend told Media Takeout that Travis is so cheap that during their entire relationship, which lasted more than 3 years, Travis, who was playing on a 4-year, $60 million contract, only gave Kayla $100. Yes, you read that right, $100. Kayla's friend explained, Travis is very cheap. In the beginning, he tried to make Kayla prove that she wasn't with him for the money, so she had to pay half of everything. The tipster continued, half of every date, every trip, everything. Obviously, this has caused quite the controversy online, and that's what we're here to discuss, right? There's basically two sides to the argument. One side is simply that, this is a fair deal, right? Women have been fighting for this quote-unquote equality that they don't have. Well, this is equality right here. You know what I mean? You wanted it, you got it. This situation reminds me of a situation that we had back in the day in our community, right? In the Call of Duty community. Y'all remember like way back in the day, for those that have been around, when Scump used to always have drama with Kens. And then one time, I think it was in a tweet, but she had like a mental breakdown because he asked her to pay half the rent. And then once that came out, like everyone roasted her. This was back in like the maybe Advanced Warfare days or something. Like it was quite a long time ago. I remember that was like a huge event in the community. Those were the days. Everything was just way different back then, man. Like, anyways, the point is, this is equality, you know what I mean? And the problem with the situation is, and I'm not saying this is the case with all women or anything like that, but just off me like reading some of the replies along with, having some common sense. One thing I have noticed with this whole feminist equality movement or whatever, right? They typically only want the equality when it's beneficial. They don't actually want like pure unbiased equality across the board in all aspects of life. They just try to pick and choose certain things, and that's really the problem with it all, right? Either you get the full equality, the positives and the negatives, or you just don't get it at all. Like trying to pick and choose certain things, like that's when you start creating problems. And that's the other side of the argument, right? People who are saying that, since he makes so much money that he should be supporting her more. And actually, I did see men and women who both were saying this. It was not just like an all-female point of view. So personally, I'm gonna have to be like somewhere in the middle on this one, okay? Because on one hand, I do have to agree, $100 over the course of, 5 years, I believe? Like, that's kind of absurd. Like, that's crazy, right? Like, let's all be honest here. Like, if you've ever had a girlfriend in your life, especially one for that long, you've definitely spent more than $100 on it, right? Like, that's just life. Now, I'm not condoning going out and spending money on random girls that you don't really even know like that, but I'm just saying, like, your actual girl that you've been with for like a long time, $100 is crazy. I saw a lot of dudes in the comments applauding it, and I get the sentiment, you know what I mean? Like, oh, look at this guy, he's a king, blah, blah, blah. But like, you have to understand, you are not him. Okay, that's Travis Kelce, superstar, multi-millionaire NFL athlete. He looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I think he's like 6'5". Like, he pretty much has everything that a girl is interested in. You, on the other hand, probably don't have any of those things, you know what I mean? So the girl was obviously willing to stick around for the opportunity of a long-term investment in someone like that, hoping, you know, that one day she's gonna get the ring and it would all be worth it, you know, she secured the bag and all that. But as a regular person, if you tried this, you're probably gonna get like cheated on and left. And they ain't gonna stick around for 5 years. I know that sounds crazy maybe to some people, but you have to understand the situation. Like, if you don't, someone else will. That being said, I think the message is still there, right? Like, he's not trying to be a sugar daddy. He is trying to have an actual relationship. So, of course, for someone in a situation like him, he has to be careful, because there are some girls out there who are like that. I mean, you know, we've seen that in the last couple years with the whole, you know, Brittany Renner situation. You know what I mean? There are people out there like that. So, of course, you can't blame him for being cautious. That being said, I think what's being overlooked in this situation is that clearly he saw a problem with her, like a major red flag or maybe multiple or whatever, that prevented him from committing to the relationship. We don't know the situation, but 5 years is a pretty long time. You know, she had some pretty good patience in this situation. I can guarantee you that if he wasn't Travis Kelce or someone of that same, like, you know, caliber or whatever, there is no chance that she would have stayed around for 5 years. So at the end of the day, I don't really see what the big controversy is in this situation, right? We got two people who view relationships differently and they couldn't come to an agreement, so it ended. Simple as that. I think both sides have a pretty valid point of view of the situation. I understand why someone in his position would be careful with how he spends his money on girls or whatever. And I also understand why a girl would be maybe upset that he only spent $100 on her or whatever, right? That's both fair. I just thought it was kind of a funny situation. Some of the replies were just absolutely crazy. Like, there were some girls who were really upset, like, oh, I would never be with the man who wouldn't buy me anything, like, blah, 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 all that. And then, like, I click on her profile and I see a fucking ogre in the profile pic. I'm like, you might need a little bit of a reality check if you think you are ever getting someone like Travis Kelce hitting your line in the first place. Both sides can learn something here with this situation, right? Like, guys, you probably are not at the Travis Kelce level, so your playbook is gonna have to look a little bit different, okay? And girls, you probably don't look good enough to get a Travis Kelce in the first place, so you're gonna probably have to lower your expectations as well. Regardless, that's pretty much it for the video. I just thought it was kind of a funny situation. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like rating if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're not already, follow me on Twitter, link to the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. We covered some of the new Modern Warfare 2 leaks that have been dropping. Some interesting stuff. I think they're doing the reveal on June 8th. I don't know why that date sticks out to me, but we're about to get the real trailer in about a week or so. So we'll see what happens, but you know, check that video out if you want to see any of the Modern Warfare 2 stuff. Other than that, once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day and peace out.